If I lost everything today, this is the exact plan that I would follow to make an Amazon FBA store and make myself profitable again. Now in this video, I'm gonna assume that I don't have any of the knowledge that I do right now. So I'm gonna take y'all from day one, me working a 9 to 5, to where I'm at now, basically starting with $500 and how I got here. And so that first step was my initial investment. I took $500 from one of my paychecks from my 9 to 5 and put it into inventory. But we have to go before that to get to see how I figured out what to invest in. My first step really was learning. I did a lot of learning on YouTube videos, but I got into a mentorship, and that's really what forced me to take that step forward. And what I focused on in the beginning was sourcing. More than anything else, I spent hours and hours sourcing. So as soon as I made the decision that I'm gonna get into this Amazon thing and I'm gonna do this for real, I made the decision that any free time I have outside of work, any free times I have on the weekends, anything outside of work and family, I'm going to spend time sourcing. So the first thing I did was download Keepa and download SellerAmp. I wasn't even ready to download Seller Central because Seller Central is where you post your products, where you put your prices and stuff like that. I wasn't even ready for that step yet. First, I just needed to know, can I find profitable products? And for a lot of y'all out there, this is what you should focus on first, making sure you have the skill that you can find profitable products. If you can't find profitable products, I promise you're gonna have a bad time here. So spend your first hours practicing how to find profitable products. And I would just consult with my mentor and just ask him questions and practice day in and day out. So I would get on SellerAmp and I would do something called reverse sourcing. This is what I suggest everyone start out with. Reverse sourcing is where you find a random product on Amazon, you go into the stores that are selling it by going into SellerAmp. SellerAmp gives you insight on who's selling this product, how many times it's selling per month, how many people are already selling it, what your profit is gonna be if you find it at a certain price, all the good stuff that you wanna know before making a buy. And so I would get on SellerAmp and Keepa and just practice sourcing. I would go through hundreds of stores, day in, day out. Hundreds of stores, thousands of products, looking at all of them. Really and truly, this is a numbers game. If you're getting into Amazon, you've got to understand that you're gonna be looking through a bunch of products and most of them are not gonna be good. If you're like one of those people that's gonna look at 10 products and be like, I didn't find any, I'm out. Don't even try it, bro. This is not the place for you. This is a place for someone who is motivated, you have work ethic, you can look at products and look at data over and over again until you find the right one. You can think about it like digging for a diamond. You don't look in 10 feet of dirt and then find a diamond. You gotta dig, you gotta keep looking, because you gotta think about it like this as well. Many people start Amazon FBA. There's a lot of people out there competing with you to find the same products that you're looking for. So you've gotta put the work in, you've gotta be diligent. Especially in the beginning when you don't have a lot of money, you've gotta trade, or you've got to make up for that lack of money with time. There's two things that are very valuable here in this business, and it's time and money. And one can be converted for the other, but you cannot come into this business and not be willing to give one or the other, or even both. You've got to put in a lot of time, or you've got to put in a lot of money, and that's how you get the results. But anyways, I would source for hours. I would get home and I would just source, and this whole time I was just making a leads list of products that I thought looked good on Amazon, looked good on SellerAmp, and I would just hold them. And this is the work that you should be doing, is making a leads list to begin with. You find ASINs that look good on Amazon. See if you can find them profitable somewhere else. This is the work that you must do, is making a list of products that you can find on maybe Target.com. For example, I'm gonna show y'all a product that's selling right now on Target.com for $349. Boom, I'll put it right here. This product is selling on Target for $349, and on the right side I'll put how much it's selling for on Amazon. It should be somewhere around $10.50, something like that. I think I was selling it for $11.50. But this is an example of something that you're looking for, and then you can look through the SellerAmp charts and see what it looks like. But this is a perfect example. People all the time tell me, oh bro, I can't find any products. I've looked through everyone's store, I can't find anything. To me, that's just lazy. Like, you look through a bunch of stores and you can't find anything, not even a little bit profitable. I understand struggling. My first 3 weeks were me looking for products and not finding a damn thing. I'm serious, I didn't find anything for 3 weeks. And most people would have quit. I'm not gonna lie, that would make most people quit. But you have to be a little off in the mind to do this, because like, I never even thought anything of it. Most people, even my parents were telling me, maybe this isn't for you, maybe this isn't for any other job. If you're doing something for 3 weeks and not making any money, hey bro, it might be time to check something else out. And I agree with you, but this business rewards that tenacity, that never giving up. So after 3 weeks, I found my first profitable product. It was some green tea K-pods. Sent them to my mentor. He approved it. He was like, that looks good. Put it into my store, and literally that next week, I started selling. So made my first sales. Sold out in 2 weeks. And I already knew what time it was. It was time to turn up. So from there, I got a little bit ahead. So once I had a leads list going of good products and I found my first lead that I wanted to go ahead and buy and put it into my store, went ahead, opened up a Seller Central account, got approved. It takes like 2 days to get approved, so I had to wait 2 days. Got approved, then I bought that product, that green tea K-pods. I found them on HEB. I went ahead and bought 10 of them. Or I found those on Target.com, actually, I'm sorry. Found those on Target.com, bought 10 of them, got them sent to my house, and now I needed to get ungated because they were in a brand, I think the brand was Starbucks, if I'm not mistaken. The brand was Starbucks, and I was not approved to sell that brand. And this would stop a lot of people. I see so many of y'all giving up because y'all say, oh, I'm gated and everything. Well, of course you are. You're gonna be gated, you're a new seller. A lot of people just don't understand what being gated means or why they're doing it to you. The reason Amazon gates its sellers or doesn't approve you to sell everything all at the beginning is because they have a reputation to protect. If they let everyone just sell anything that they wanted on Amazon, there would be so many people selling fake items. You can see this happening on Walmart.com. Walmart.com is full of sellers that are selling fake items because they don't require you to get ungated. They don't require you to show invoices. They don't require you to prove that you have legit products. So much fake stuff being sold on Walmart, and that's why they're not as big as Amazon right now. But Amazon does the legit checks. They're gonna check you out. They want you to prove to them that you have legit product. And so a lot of people hate on that, but I like it because it makes sure that us as Amazon sellers are always going to be able to make money on Amazon. Because when people go to Amazon, nobody thinks when you order on Amazon you're going to get something fake in the mail. Everybody trusts Amazon, and part of the reason is because they don't allow new sellers to just sell whatever they want. If they did, bro, we'd be like SOL. So anyways, did the work to get ungated. Basically what that looks like is just getting an invoice for 10. For this particular product, it was 10 units to get ungated. Sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's 100. As a new seller, I always tell people in my mentorship, if you're just starting out, go for those ungates, go for those products that you can get approved to sell with 10 units. If you have to buy 100 units of something up front, that's not a good investment as a new seller because you don't even know that much about Amazon yet. Even if you have the money to do it, get familiar with it by finding products that you can get ungated with 10 units for. And there's a lot of them out there. I have people all the time in my comments that are like, there's no products that I can get ungated with 10 units. They all want 1,000. They all want 500, they all want 100. Not true whatsoever. I could show you a list of 100 products you could get ungated with 10 units for right now. So find products that you can get ungated with 10 units for, put some of those in your store, and then from there, you'll start making sales. Now, a lot of people don't understand that because they ask me all the time, what if I don't make sales? You will make sales. Amazon is not biased in any way. You'll make sales as long as you're priced competitively. This is one of the most important things, just being priced competitively. If you're even more paranoid about making sales, send your stuff in FBA instead of FBM. A little short rundown, FBA just stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. FBM, Fulfilled by Merchant, is where you're shipping stuff directly to the customer instead of FBA warehouses fulfilling it for you. So FBA is Fulfilled by Amazon. That's where you ship your products into the FBA warehouse and they take care of the shipping and customer service. They favor FBA sellers a little bit because your products are in their warehouse and they know they have their shipping down to a T. You can get on Amazon and some of the stuff will say, like, oh, get it by 8 p.m. tonight or whatever. They know when they can get that shit to you down to the hour. Whereas if you're shipping stuff out to the customer, they have to trust you. Oh, can Lane make it there on this time? We don't know. He hasn't shipped out that many orders yet. So if you're paranoid about making sales, go the FBA route first. To me, it's a little easier. Also, you don't have to ship stuff out. You don't have to deal with any of that. But that's exactly what I did. I shipped my stuff in, and then from there, made first sales, started selling out, and then that's kind of the turning point where it's like, all right, I have proof of concept. I know I can do this, and I know that I'm gonna go all in. So I did. I went all in, and I started investing even more of my money. So this whole time, I'm still sourcing. I'm still finding products to sell, and I'm still making plans to buy more products. And Once I did that, I went ahead and I started investing more of my 9-to-5 paycheck, because a lot of people hear me say, oh, I invested $500 and made it to where I'm at now, making $40K per month. And they're like, I want to do the same thing you did. I have $500 and how fast can I make $40K per month? And I'm like, that's not what I meant. I invested $500 up front. And then as soon as I saw it started coming back to me, I'm like, all right, my next check, I'm gonna invest $300 more. My next check, I'm gonna invest $400 more. You gotta keep adding on to it, because if you wait on that $500 to get back to you, then you wanna flip that. That's gonna flip to maybe $800. Then you wait for that to get back to you. That's maybe gonna flip to $1,200, $1,300. You wanna get going quick, because it takes a while to send stuff in. They gotta process it, they gotta sell it, then they gotta send you your money. That could be a month, that could be a 2-month process. So all the meanwhile, I'm not sitting on my hands. I'm investing more. I'm putting more stuff into my store. I'm putting more products into my store so I can see some profit. And a couple of times I put some products in there that weren't that great. Maybe they took a while to sell out. Maybe I had to take them out of my store and return them. But you always have that guard in the back of your mind. If this doesn't sell, I can just return it, because you're getting these things from Target or Vitacost or Macy's, Kohl's, you name it, Walmart. Wherever you're getting it from, you should be buying it from a place that has a return policy, so you're not risking all your money and not getting anything out of it. But anyways, from there, I started scaling up, and I basically, a lot of people don't understand this, I did that for 4 or 5 months. I just ran it. I grinded for 4 or 5 months. I sold out, boom, let me restock this. Let me test these 3 products. Oh, one of them sold out, boom, let's restock that one. The other 2, don't even worry about it. I'm running it for 4 or 5 months, a lot of boring, hard, head down, focused work, doing the same actions over and over and over again, because I'm getting a good result. So I'm doing the same things over and over and over again for a long time. And then from there, now I make it to the point where I'm making around $5,000 a month from my Amazon store. But that was enough for me to go ahead and quit my job. So I quit my job and I'm like, all right, I'm going full time on this Amazon thing. But as soon as I did that, I realized, all right, I'm making $5K a month, but at the same time, I want to keep reinvesting my profits, and I can't really ball out of control with $5K a month. And I'm trying to ball out of control. I don't know about y'all. I'm trying to turn up. So I started doing some research on how I can get my hands on more money. How can I get more inventory? And I asked my mentor, and he's telling me about business funding. So I started looking around the internet. I start seeing if you have good credit, you can get business funding, and business funding is basically where the bank will give you a big bag, 50,000 or more, to go ahead and take that, buy more products with it, and put those products into your store. So I'm like, all right, it's time. I got to get some business funding. This is what I got to do. So I'm like, all right, it's time to start working on my credit. Around that time, my score was terrible. It was at 480. So I know, all right, I got to get my credit up. I got to get this business funding going. And so started grinding credit repair, got my score up into the low 700s. I think it was around 720 when I went for business funding. And then I opened my LLC. To get business funding, you need an LLC, you need credit history, and you need a credit score 700 or above, something like that. I think 680 even you could do. But I worked with Hood Rich Credit on YouTube, shout out him, another one of my mentors, and started getting business funding. And from there, I went ahead and leveraged my credit to get $80,000 from Chase. I got 2 business cards, both for $40,000, and so that adds up to $80,000. And from there, you can imagine, I was a kid in the candy store. I'm buying every lead I can find, putting it in my store, buying 100. I'm just going crazy. I'm investing. A lot of people get that bag and they'll blow it, but I'm investing at this point. I'm focused on nothing else but growing my store. So I take that $80,000 and spend most of it on inventory for my store. And I start paying off the cards. I start getting into this cycle where I'm paying off the cards. Once it's paid off, boom, I'm sinking that right back into more inventory. And it was going really good. From there, just a lot of that boring work again. A lot of that, most of what you're gonna learn is in the beginning. From there, it's just about scaling up, and you're kind of on your own to make those moves, because it's just more buying, selling, more of everything that you're doing in the beginning. The same things that got you from 0 to 10K a month will get you from 10 to 100K a month. You just have to do them more. You just have to systemize everything. A lot of people will get virtual assistants to source for them. A lot of people will use prep centers. I started using a prep center. Prep center is just basically where there's a place, that warehouse that you can send all of your items to. They will pack them, label them, and send them to the Amazon warehouse for you, so you don't have to touch the products. That's what I do now too. But this is the same blueprint, guys, that I take my students through in the mentorship. I don't want y'all to think this is what I did and I'm telling my students something different. I took the same thing because I studied hard for this. I don't come from money. I could not waste any money on the way up. So I didn't have a lot of money to start with, so I knew I had to spend it wisely. And so this same blueprint I give to my students. I'm helping them, I'm giving them leads. If you're interested in that, a lot of y'all have been hitting me up, help me commenting and stuff like that. So if you're trying to get into the mentorship, just hit me up on IG. I'll put my IG right here. I help my students the same way that I came up. Is like you just gotta have the blueprint, you gotta know what to do, and then you just wanna have someone there to ask questions to. But there's nothing, I've never had a student come in, put the work in, and do all the steps and fail. Everybody that I've worked with in the mentorship, the same results are there. Amazon is like guesswork. It's just like you gotta put the work in, you gotta learn SellerAmp, you gotta learn Keepo, you gotta learn how to source. If you can source, bro, you can make so much money here. But anyways, if I had to, I like how I started this video about if I had to come back. Basically, I just gave you what I did because that's what I did. I was at the bottom. I want y'all to know I was at the bottom pretty much, starting from zero. I had $500 that I either was going to spend on, honestly, I should have spent that on my car note. When I started Amazon, I was behind on my car note. I was either gonna spend my $500 on my car note, I was gonna spend that $500 to start a business. And I know it's not a risk that most would take or even a smart risk, but I knew I could do it. I always knew, all right, it's time, I'm getting older, I need to do something. And so instead of paying my car note, I called them and I told them, hey, I'm not gonna be able to make my car note this month, give me some leeway. And they did, but I really did risk it. I don't come from a place where $500 was nothing to me. I never had a lot of money. And for me to go from that to this, it really is testament to what can be done if you just focus on something for a while. Like I said, it took me a year and a half to get here. Everything that y'all are looking to do is really a year away. So that's pretty much all I gotta say in this one. Quick video, just wanted to take y'all through the blueprint, what it looks like going from A to Z. And as always, sell things online, make lots of money. Peace. Oh, let me know what y'all wanna see. Give me some feedback, let me know. But sell things online makes lots of money. Peace.